It's going to be a sizzler at the ballpark today as the Nats and the Yankees get together. Mike O'Connor takes on the second best hitting team in the American League, and the Yankees are now the highest scoring team in all of baseball with 386 runs. It'll be a tough one for Mike in his 11th career start today. First pitch of the game to Johnny Damon. Strike one, says Lance Barksdale. 106 first pitch. Opponent's batting only .204 against the left-hander from Ellicott City, and a breaking ball high. It is 89 degrees and rising. It's supposed to get into the mid-90s here today. So those folks sitting out in the sun better stay hydrated. Johnny Damon can't get over the top of that upstairs pitch, and it's 1-2 strikes. Lance Barksdale, Dan Isanya, Bob Davidson, and crew chief Dale Scott on the bases today. Winner of this game wins the series, of course. Nats trying to improve their interleague record to 4-2. Johnny Damon on a breaking ball in the dirt strikes out, and Robert Fick will throw him out. Southwest Airlines lineup for the Yankees: Melky Cabrera to follow, and then Derek Jeter, Giambi Rodriguez, the great Yankees, even without Gary Sheffield and Hideki Matsui. Big day for Johnny Damon. A grand slam, 5 RBIs, and 4 hits yesterday. But he has already struck out today.
Yeah, what you did yesterday doesn't mean anything today. That's right out of the George Steinbrenner playbook.
By the way, quite a breeze blowing here at the ballpark. It is blowing out today. Not that the wind is always a factor in this completely enclosed stadium, but the flags are whipping straight out toward left field.
I think the ball is really going to carry today. I really believe it's important for Mike O'Connor to throw first pitch strike. For the Yankees are a patient team. They will take a lot of pitches, and they want to wear that youngster out there. So they want to force him to throw a lot and get him a little tired and then put him away.
Mike O'Connor threw 87 pitches in only 5 2/3 against the Rockies on Tuesday night, when they got him for 6 runs on 6 hits in 5 2/3. This one flied out to center. Marlon Byrd is right there, and he will put away that fly ball for the second out. Nationals defensively with a different look today. Now Royce Clayton was on the field playing catch, so his shoulder pretty much okay. Maybe back in the lineup tomorrow. Brendan Harris is actually at shortstop today. Brian Schneider replaced by Robert Fick, and Nick Johnson replaced by Darrell Ward. Darrell Ward, by the way, replacing Nick, and they say it might be a couple of days for Nick after he strained that back a little bit during the ball game yesterday. That ball is flied to right off the bat of Derek Jeter and out of play. Jeter 4 out of 8 in the series with a couple of RBIs. He's only 9 for his last 35. Interesting statistic I ran across this morning. In the history of interleague play, the 2 players who have scored the most runs: Johnny Damon, Derek Jeter.
Whoa.
That's because they're on base a lot.
A lot. And don't hang a curveball to Derek Jeter if you value your lips. Well, I'll tell you, he is an excellent off-speed hitter. He's just getting better and better at that as he ages in baseball, aging very gracefully, getting better every year.
Now, you see the Nationals defense today. We just thought we'd show you what it usually would be and then what it is today.
Carpenter in center. What? What are they thinking?
Here's Giambi, and Jason's only 1 out of 8 in the series.
Oh, you're on the bench with me then, right?
Good job by O'Connor to board that fastball in on him.
That's where you got to pitch, Giambi. You leave something out over the plate. I don't care if you're right-handed or left-handed. Submarine sidearm over the top. He will kill it.
Giambi only 5 out of his last 30 and 14 for 48.
I would be surprised too if Giambi gets behind in the count. He'll take a shot at stealing second base. First of all, to get Giambi out of the count if he's thrown out. Secondly, to get in scoring position and test Robert Fick to see what kind of arm he has. Joe Torre wearing the same wristbands we have on. Joe, a cancer survivor.
He is. Big curveball, a little bit high, and the count goes 2-1.
Look at Joe. He's won 1,914.
You know, some feel he was just about a Hall of Fame player. He'll probably go in as a manager.
No question about it. The combination, very deserving.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Joe Torre as a player hit .297 in his career with over 2,300 hits in 17 years, 9 All-Star games, an MVP in '71 when he hit .363, and Joe Torre didn't have any infield hits then.
None. Played third base for the Cardinals that year.
He won a Gold Glove as a catcher with the Milwaukee Braves in 1965.
Great player.
2-1 to Giambi. He was waiting for that hook. Look at that, 4 World Series titles. And he would be named Manager of the Year more, except that people think he has an easy job, so they don't vote for him. And nothing is further from the truth.
That's exactly right. That is not an easy job.
We've all worked for tough bosses during our careers, and Joe does it every year. 2-2.
Oh,
and O'Connor throws the ball away.
Yeah, I thought Jeter was going on that pitch. Well, we're not going to see right now if Robert Fick can throw out Jeter. Jeter didn't appear like he was going. That ball, geez, that was really wildly thrown. Looked like he held on to that ball too long. Darrell Ward had absolutely no chance to catch that one.
Now Jeter at second with 2 outs. Giambi 53 runs batted in.
This is kind of, look at, they've got the entire infield with Zimmerman standing next to Jeter.
So he's going to steal third immediately.
Well, he's going to walk to third.
Robert Fick has a better chance of covering third than Ryan Zimmerman does.
What is he going to do? Throw to Larry Boa, who's I've never seen this before.
Okay, Derek.
Take off.
There you go. Giambi hooks this ball into the corner foul.
I have never seen that before, ever.
Where you're just giving a guy third base.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a lot of different ways to score. They just want to protect that against the single.
Here's another thing, and not that Giambi is a bunter, but if he bunted the ball hard, Jeter would score.
Absolutely.
If nobody could do a thing about it.
Yeah, if he could slap a ball to the left side, Jeter could, you know, would crawl home if he wanted to. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Look at him. He's just taking off right now. So get a better shot. Oh, maybe get a balk out of it.
Now, why would Mike O'Connor even worry about him?
Well, he did. He put something in his mind because he's a rookie. And there's 45,000 people here, and he's pitching against the New York Yankees.
Now, there is someone covering home, so he can't walk any further.
Well, on a wild pitch now.
Yeah, if you bounce a breaking ball.
Boy, he hung one instead. Those hangers go a long way. But Mike has got to establish that curve. I'd like to see him bust him inside. He's thrown him enough curveballs in this at bat. You might as well throw that fastball in.
They gave Jeter a stolen base, by the way. It is not fielder's indifference.
Why not? I don't understand that at all. That's a stolen base, but I think they should all be stolen bases.
I do too.
By the way,
that fielder's indifference thing is silly.
It is.
If he steals, he steals. And if he strikes out, he strikes out, and the inning is over. 2 Ks for O'Connor. He wasn't worried about throwing the breaking ball in the dirt with the runner at third, was he? Nationals baseball on Masson, brought to you by Aflac. Ask about it at work. By the redesigned, rededicated Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel. By PNC Bank. By Geico, where a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit southwest.com. Greatest flight plan in America. The approach to National Airport right down the Potomac. Can't make that left turn anymore. There'll be some fighter jets on you. We go to the bottom of the first inning after a crazy top of the first. And the National Southwest Airlines starting lineup featuring Alfonso Soriano. 2 for 7 with a homer and 2 RBIs in the series. More importantly, Soriano has scored 3 runs in the 2 games. That's the bottom line. And he's tied for second in the National League with those 54 runs he has scored. Only Jose Reyes of the Mets with more. This is Chien-Ming Wang, spelled Wang but pronounced Wong, and this guy is 6-0 in day games this year. He must be hard to pick up. And Tom, he's a big fella. Wong goes 6'3", 220. He's 26 years of age.
He is that. He's got a great sinker. Talking with Ken Singleton, their TV voice before the game today, he will get a lot of ground balls. Relies heavily on his defense, and he's got a pretty good one out there.
He's from Taiwan, former member of the Chinese Olympic team, and Alfonso Soriano out of the Dominican Republic with a base hit to start things off.
All right, let's see if Alfonso gets aggressive and steals like he did late in the game yesterday. Got a pitch up, and that's where he can't operate. Wong right up the middle. Didn't hit it hard, but Jeter was playing him in the hole, thinking he might turn over that top hand a little bit. And
I am so looking forward to today's keys to this game, which we will see shortly.
I think we ought to hold the fans in a little mystery for a while.
Here's Jose Vidro. Jose with a couple of hits in the series. Wong does not appear to be that quick to home plate. Soriano now with 17 stolen bases on the year. He's been caught 7 times. He's the only major leaguer with as many as 15 homers and 15 steals. Some other guys have broken into the 10-10 club, but not the 15-15, soon to be 20-20. They thought he was going on first pitch.
Well, Posada's real good behind the plate. Very quick release. He's just trying to improve his chances, but it gives Vidro the opportunity to pull the ball here on the ground, maybe create a first and third situation if Soriano stays put.
There's a strike and the count's even. Jose Vidro hitting .303 from the left side, .287. Bright sunshiny day. He's got the shades on. Something you never used to see years ago.
Well, you know, the shades are so good now.
Got these blue blockers now. Probably makes the ball look bigger and brighter.
And we used to have those flap down glasses that you'd wear only in the outfield. And now they've got these things that are so perfect. They just brighten up everything, and it doesn't cause any depth perception problems either. So those are terrific.
Yeah. Robinson Cano likes him for second base.
A lot of guys hit with those things.
Fastball moving away from Jose, and he goes upstairs with it. Tom Glavine's put a 0 on the board in the top of the first. The Orioles are trying to sweep the Mets today.
How about that?
Lowen and Glavine, and Tom Glavine looking for number 10. Roy Halladay is pitching for Toronto at Florida, and the Marlins are red hot, winning 7 in a row. They're tied with Atlanta, a half game back of the Nats.
Yeah, Florida's been real hot. They're playing well with that young team. A lot of good youngsters on that Marlins club.
Vidro with a slow bouncer to second. Cano to Jeter, and the Yankees turn the 4-6-3 double play. Their 61st double play of the year. Jim Coleman Toyota.com with our much anticipated keys to the game.
Well, we must have to explain these, obviously. For the Yankees, New York loves left-handers. Boy, that was beautiful graphics right there. Our lovely Lisa. They kill left-handed pitching at 14-5, and whether he's right or whether he's Wong. Well, Wright pitched on Friday, and he wasn't very good. He gave up 5 runs. So Wong wants to be right today. For the Nationals, just rewards on Dad Days. Darryl and his dad Gary here in the house, and let's take it to the house today. 45,000 fans here want to see a Nats victory.
Well, most of them do.
Well, there's a few NY hats
There's
around.
a few scoundrels in the gathering today.
Well, that was beautiful, wasn't it? How that, and that was your idea too, I must say, on the Heart New York.
Well, you know, the T-shirts,
Yeah.
I Heart NY, so we did a little takeoff on that. And,
Brilliant.
It's amazing that our graphics machine would even have a heart in it.
Brilliant.
And of course, the bases are decorated for Father's Day, fighting prostate cancer today. Big logo right behind home plate. And it's a very serious day as well. We heard Tommy Lasorda here with Mr. Milken several nights ago talking about this, and here it is. It's this particular day. There's a home run challenge. Certain games have been designated, and home runs hit in those games will result in contributions toward prostate cancer research. Jose Guillen gets jammed, and he serves one out into left center. Nationals have their second base hit.
He certainly did. Well, he will get a lot of balls hit off the fist by right-handers because that sinking fastball bores in on him very effectively. And Wang has been right his last 2 times out.
Jorge Posada behind the plate today. Yankees have their regular defense out there, at least their regular defense with Gary Sheffield hurt and Hideki Matsui.
Yeah, can you believe those 2 guys are out? But they're getting, I'll tell you, Cabrera's a good hitter, and Bernie Williams has become rejuvenated. But you'd still rather have those 2 guys, obviously.
Here's Darrell Ward. In this series, he is 4 for 6. Evidently, he did not want Dad getting them all over him about his hitting this weekend. Gary Ward is in town, and Darrell's putting a show on for his dad, who is a very fine major league hitter himself.
Oh, he was a great hitter. Plus, he was a major league hitting coach, too, with the White Sox for a few years and in the organization. Wright, though, Wang, is coming off of 2 wins against Boston and Cleveland, where he worked 7 innings both times. Gave up just 1 run in 14 innings, so he's hot.
Darrell reaching for that one that goes dribbling by the mound, and Cano plays it very relaxed. Nationals get 2 hits and leave a runner, and after 1, no score on Father's Day. Top of the second. Well, good news after yesterday's crazy game. It is scoreless early. Maybe both pitchers will have a nice steady game today. It is sizzling out in the sun. Fans keeping cool any way they can. Alex Rodriguez yesterday got a home run, 15th of the year, and the 444th of his career after some advice from his hitting coach Don Mattingly, who was very happy about that. And Tom, it's a question of hitting the ball straight away, right?
Well, it is to a certain extent, but you know, he's got to trust his hands, as Frank Robinson preaches. Slow down his body, trust his hands. He was really jumping out there, especially on Friday night. He didn't take a good swing, but when you jump out there early, your hands slow down and you can't trust them.
We were hoping A-Rod would get hot tomorrow in Philadelphia. That's where the Yankees are going for their next 3 games.
Yeah,
While the Nats are leaving for Boston tonight.
That'll be fun.
Alex at 6 for his last 30. That's a fastball for a strike. I mentioned his home run total, 449. Well, 444. When he hits 449, he will tie Jeff Bagwell for number 32 in the all-time list. 5 more to get there. And you just wonder if we've seen Jeff Bagwell hit his last home run.
I think, yes, we have.
Sad, but probably true. 1-2 to A-Rod. Target inside. Fastball got in there, and he fought it off.
Yeah, if you're going to pitch A-Rod inside, you better get it in there. Get just in off the plate. He's got very long arms, and he likes to extend, as we have seen for at least 444 times.
He hit 8 home runs and drove in 28 in the month of May, chosen as the American League Player of the Month. So something happened to him at the end of that month on into June, where he has struggled with only 15 hits in his last 61 at bats.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's been regarded as the best player in baseball for the last 4 or 5 years, and you know, there's a little pressure attached to that, so they expect you to do something great every game.
Tough thing to deal with, huh, Tom?
Darn right it is. I wish I had that feeling.
Well, I'm sure you were the best player at a lot of levels on your way to the major leagues. Most major leaguers are.
Hamtramck Pony League I was.
That's huge. And a breaking ball is up high from O'Connor. Alex Rodriguez working the count to 3-2 with Jorge Posada and Robinson Cano coming up next. Every time the Yankee fans start their "Let's go Yankees" chant, the National fans boo them out of business.
Great.
3-2. He walked in to lead off the inning. National League East, and who would have thunk that the Atlanta Braves, anytime after the first couple of weeks of any season, would be tied for last place.
Yeah, that's amazing. 9 games under 500 and no relief in sight. They're just, the relief pitching has been just absolutely horrible.
And I think, Tom, the entire baseball world is waiting for John Sherholtz to pull the trigger on something.
I think, and he's got some bullets to deal with.
He's got some young players he
yeah.
can deal. That's for sure, if they decide to go that route.
Unless they decide, well, let's rebuild and go ahead, do something special for next year. But I don't know.
Atlanta's a funny place. They don't fill the ballpark when they're going well. If they're in this position for a month or two, you're going to see a lot of empty seats in Turner Field.
Absolutely.
John told me himself several years ago, our fans have come to take winning for granted. Very much so. Well, that's their problem. The Nationals have plenty of their own. Royce Clayton is banged up, could be in the lineup tomorrow in Boston. Nick Johnson strained his back a little, could be a couple of days for him. Randy St. Clair now out to talk to Mike O'Connor, who suddenly seems to be aiming the ball.
Well, you know what I think it is, Bob? He's thrown every pitch upstairs. I mean, he's not getting the ball down, so that tells me he's not finishing off his pitches. Throwing a lot of high curveballs. He bounced a couple up there that he got Damon and Giambi to go fishing after, but they were nowhere near the strike zone. So I think that's what Randy's out there telling him. Hey, you got to finish these pitches off, and you got to keep the ball down. Give your fielders a chance.
And Posada's a dangerous hitter from the right side. In the ball game yesterday, Jorge Posada batting left-handed, and he hit his 9th of the year. Jorge Posada now with 184 career home runs. He's a cinch to reach 200 soon. He's 34 years old right now. He'll have another birthday in the middle of August.
Classic example: low ball hitter left-handed, high ball hitter right-handed.
So Mike throws him a low one right-handed and misses ball 2.
Yeah. He's a great low ball hitter left-handed. It's amazing. He'll go to all fields, and the homer he hit yesterday was on the pitch down and in. Right-handed, he likes the ball up a little more, as do most switch hitters, and I don't know why.
Posada has only grounded into 1 double play this year. He's one of those guys who does not wear batting gloves. He had a pitch up and he was trying to jump on it. The count's even 2-2.
Yeah, the best example of a high ball hitter, and we're not able to see him, is Gary Sheffield. He keeps his back shoulder up better than anybody, I think, in baseball, and that's why he's such a good fastball hitter, especially a high fastball hitter.
He really is taking his place as one of the great all-time Yankee catchers. And they've had some great ones.
Oh yeah,
man, you look down the list. Yes. There's a great pitch on the inside corner. And Mike O'Connor gets his 3rd strikeout. Posada gave up on it, had a little run to it, and it just caught the strike zone.
Yeah, he filled it up right there, thigh high, inside corner. Jorge brought his hands forward a little bit and couldn't pull the trigger. So here's Cano. Now this guy can hit. I'll tell you what. He's hitting 332. I think he's hitting a ton on the road.
And he has a 15-game hitting streak.
Yeah.
452 he's hitting in his last 15 ball games. Let's have a look at our Toyota League leaders, American League batting leaders. Catcher Joe Mauer doing a great job for Minnesota. Ichiro, he's always up there, but man, hitting 363. Look at these numbers.
Yeah.
And Gary Matthews Jr., who's nowhere near that as a career hitter.
Oh gosh, well, he's just found it. You know, he's in his early 30s. I think Gary Matthews Jr. is just now getting it.
Big curveball, That one got in on his hands, popped up, and Brendan Harris is there for the second out.
There is a classic example of a backup curveball and the hitter jamming himself. He was expecting that pitch to break out over the plate. Another look at the jam job.
Man, he really got jammed.
He certainly did. Yeah, he's looking for that pitch to break out over the middle of the plate so he can attack it, and it just never got there, and he kind of pushes the bat through.
Here's Bernie Williams, and he too a switch hitter. Bernie hitting .243 left-handed and .361 from this side of the plate. That's amazing. You know, left-handed, he's had 140 at bats. This side he's had 61. He's hit the same number of homers from each side and driven in almost the same number of runs.
You know, I have always considered Bernie Williams. You know, he's hit 400 in certain years right-handed in this league. Well, in the American League.
Good fastball by O'Connor. I think this first time through the order we're seeing the byproduct of some of these Yankees seeing Mike live and in person for the first time.
No doubt about it.
His test today, Tom, will be the second and third times through.
No question about it. Because they will test you, these guys. They will take pitches and they will go to work on you.
What a great career. This ball hit to right field. Jose Guillen is right there. He will grab it about 370 feet away. Yankees leave a runner. They've stranded two. The red hot Zimmerman straight ahead. It's Father's Day. Dad's got the sleeves up, the ball cap on, trying to keep everybody cool. He'll be spending serious money for some refreshments very shortly. I guarantee you that. Let's have a look at our game notes for today. Alfonso Soriano in this house, a homer every 10 at bats. Yankees have some bullpen problems, don't they? Soriano, Mariano, wow. And then Ryan Zimmerman leading all major league rookies with his 44 runs batted in, and he's had 4 of them in this series on 4 hits.
That's a good trivia question right there. Whose rookie record will he break once he gets to 39?
Do you know?
No. Maybe a good
Has this
question.
franchise had any rookies of the year?
I believe so.
That'd be interesting to look up as well.
I think Andre Dawson, maybe Ellis Valentine, maybe Tim Raines, maybe Larry Walker.
Larry Walker.
Boy, those guys could play there.
Well, Tom, we're going to go back to 1969 for the answer to your question. Ryan Zimmerman with a 6-game hitting streak. Little breaking ball catches the inside corner. How about the initial CL?
Claude Lavoie.
You're not far off. Coco LeBoy.
In 1,000 years, I wouldn't have guessed.
No way
Coco
we would have
LeBoy.
had that one.
That's a lot of RBIs. Go
On a pitch up, a swinging bunt. Zimmerman is out at first. Whoa.
Man.
He appeared to be there. Dan Isanya punches him out.
Well, I was hoping that that ball would stay fair because Ryan gets down the line very quickly, but he got a bad jump out of the box here. He's on his heels a little bit. See right there? He's got to regroup and then he gets going. Wang. I don't think so.
Safe.
That looked like a tie.
Umpire missed it.
He missed it. That's right. He was safe. Tie goes to the runner. Yeah, he hit the front of the bag just exactly the way he's supposed to, too. That's what made him safe, but he called him out anyway.
Man, that ball hit about a foot foul, and Alex Rodriguez never moved.
He didn't expect that.
Should have been a hit.
Yep.
Darn Yankees.
They had to write a play about that.
They should.
Sing songs.
In the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Bring in the devil.
Robert Fick with a hit and an RBI in this series. He's now hitting .280, 7 of 25, and as a pinch hitter this year, Robert is 3 for 8 with a couple of ribbies. We knew as soon as he started getting some at bats that he was capable of this. Fastball high in the zone, 1-2.
Now Wang throws hard. That was 93. He usually gets the start against tough lefties. He's surprised that Randy Johnson isn't pitching today. But no, Robert can hit. There's no doubt about it. And he gets big hits too. 3 RBIs. They have all meant something. Slider. You throw fastball, which is a sinker, at varying speeds up as high as 93, which is really quick. A little bit of a slider, which is what we just saw, and a straight changeup.
And right down to first for Giambi. 2 outs. Here's one for you kids ages 8 to 12. You can audition to be the Nationals junior broadcaster on July 9th when kids run the show. Go to ESPNZone.com/Washington, D.C. 10 finalists will be selected to perform live at ESPN Zone. 2 winners. One goes to radio. One comes and joins Tom and me here in the booth on Sunday, July 9th. That'll be a lot of fun. 3 weeks from today. That's the last day before the All-Star break. Brendan Harris takes a fastball low. Starting his 7th game of the year, his 3rd start at short. He has started 2 there, 2 at second, 2 at third.
You know, with my luck, little Bobby Costas is going to come in on that day. Or young Vin Scully.
Yeah, if some kid walks in with a Farmer John hot dog, we're both out of here.
Farmer John, yeah, we're done. 2 of them.
1-1 to Brendan Harris. And that fastball is low and away, ball 3. Nats looking for some base runners here. They had 2 of them in the first when Soriano led off with a hit. But Avidro 4-6-3 wiped him out, and then Jose Guillen dropped a base hit in the left center.
Well, here on 3-1, you got to pick a pitch you like and swing hard in case you hit it.
Ooh. Brendan did, and flies out to Johnny Damon. And the Nationals go in order in the second. It looks like Wang and O'Connor are going to match up pretty well today. Father's Day at the ballpark. Probably the 2 greatest places a father can be on this day. 1 at the ballpark, and maybe 2 hitting that golf ball somewhere.
Or fishing.
Fishing would be
fishing for golf balls.
That might be tied for second. Hey, next Saturday we're going to carry the Saturday game now. It's been moved to a 4:30 start at Camden Yards. So in the District of Columbia, we're on WDCA 20, Masson outside the district. Tom and I will be there to tell you about game 2. So we will have all 3 now of the series at Baltimore next weekend. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from Boston. Monday and Tuesday will be on Channel 20 as well. Off day Thursday. Chien-Ming Wang 0 for 1 as a hitter in his big league career.
And this is where the National League really has the advantage. If a pitcher can help himself swinging the bat. Let's see you later. That wasn't very long for Wang. But you know,
What'd you say? Did you say that wasn't very long for Wang?
No, he didn't stand up there very long. He's not a very good hitter. He never gets any at bats. Whereas in the National League, those hitters hit regularly. Backdoor curveball. See you later. But how about Chris Benson homering off Pedro yesterday?
That was something.
You know, and if you can bunt too. You know, if you in these games like this guy never bunts either. It's a big advantage for the National League, much more so than when the American League plays in their ballparks against National League teams.
Johnny Damon fouls one away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Damon struck out on a pitch in the dirt his first time up. Grand slam yesterday. He can muscle up occasionally. He's already hit 10 homers.
Well, he takes that top hand off the bat about as quick as anybody. He's very strong too, along with that great speed he has. He's a heck of a player. You know, even with with Sheffield and Matsui out of the lineup, I think the Yankees lineup is about as good as anybody has in baseball.
Yeah.
They're second best in average, and as you just pointed out, Bob, they lead the world in runs scored. So their pitching is their deficiency.
Johnny Damon almost always seems to me like his feet are off the ground when he makes contact.
He does, and he can take some weird swings, some ugly at bats, and just when you think you've got him, he'll just rip you. 266 against lefties this year, not too bad.
2-2 pitch. O'Connor goes with a breaking pitch. He left it out over the plate, and Johnny Damon will fly out high and far on a fly ball that is in the seats at Yankee Stadium, but not here.
Yeah, that's way back. Johnny just missed this one. You get a hanging breaking ball like this. Oh boy, he just dipped that shoulder just a hair. You see that right there, and got underneath it. Yeah, you're right. He's doing a little dance up at the plate, but it's very efficient for him.
And if you ever want to know if a ball's going out of the ballpark, just watch the hitter. When he dips his head, that means it's staying in. He knew he did not get it.
Right, but it's still, the ball's carrying well today. Nobody's really centered one yet.
Melky Cabrera flied to center, first time up. And when Tom's talking about centered, he means the center of that bat on the sweet spot. And Mike O'Connor's doing a good job of keeping the ball away from there. 10 pitches, 45 through 3 in a scoreless game. Bottom of the third, it'll be Bird, O'Connor, and Soriano for the Nationals. Nationals with a 3-2 record in interleague play. And last year Washington was 12-6. So interleague play has been very good to them, but the Yankees are the second best all time with 95 wins and 66 losses.
That's real good.
29 games over 500. Yeah. The best team of all time in interleague, the Oakland Athletics, who are 97 and 65. And by the way, it doesn't hurt that they're on a current 9-game winning streak after beating the Dodgers again last night.
Well, there goes my theory on the National League having the advantage because of the lack of the designated hitter.
Now, that is in their ballpark, though. You know, that particular series is in their ballpark.
Oh, sure.
But, yeah, you would think the National League would really benefit.
I would think so.
But, Tom, there's an interesting number out there. Marlon Byrd misses a breaking ball. Coming into this year, 1,104 wins by the National League, 1,096 by the American League, and just an 8-game difference in 10 years. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But it's all equally amazing that the National League, I guess your theory holds up to a certain extent. The National League does have an advantage, albeit a slight one. Well, isn't that something? 10 years, only 8 games difference.
Yeah. And well, I think right now too that the shifting of powers, it goes in, you know, like in decades shift, and right now I think it's in the American League's favor, with all due respect to the great players of the National League, but I just think that there's more right now in the American.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, they've been winning most of the All-Star games lately and the World Series. Wang will do it himself. No need to chance a throw. It would have been a bang-bang play.
He can get in on right-handed hitters. His last 2 starts of his, going 14 1/3 innings, giving up 1 run. So he is on a hot streak right now. That sinker, and he relies on a pretty good defensive infield. You know, you take Giambi is not a good defensive first baseman. He's usually DHing, but with A-Rod, Jeter, and Cano, that's very good.
Mike O'Connor 1 for 19 as a big league hitter with an RBI. Strike 1.
And with Wang, excuse me, you have to make him get the ball up. When he's around the knees, that thing is going to dip way below it, and you'll hit a weak ground ball, like right there, or miss it.
Yeah. Toronto has a run at Florida, 2nd inning. Orioles have a run at Shea, 3rd inning. Boston at Atlanta is the Sunday night game. O'Connor strikes out on 3 pitches. And Wang with his first strikeout of the day. It's worth a look going back to what Alfonso Soriano did yesterday. He was already on base with a walk. Then he steals second. Going to third, the throw gets away. Tom, that tied the game, and it evidently rattled Rivera because he walked Darrell Ward and then gave up the big hit to Guillen.
Yeah, you're right, because Rivera doesn't hardly walk people.
And he doesn't rattle either.
He never gets rattled, and plus Guillen was hitting out of the shadows too. It's tough to see at that time of the game.
Good fastball running to the inside corner. Wang first pitch strikes, 4 of them to the first 9 hitters. Mike O'Connor was 6 out of 9 in his first 3. Ow, man. Soriano made up his mind he was going to swing no matter what.
That ball was going to hit him.
How did that not break his bat?
He didn't hit it hard enough. That is filthy right there. I mean, he's right on top of the plate. You got to clear that front side if you're going to hit that pitch. That ball I thought was going to hit him right in the chest.
He likes Yankee pitching.
Wang spends a lot of time over the rubbers. With that windup, he's very effective. If you get him in a stretch situation, you can get to this guy. Much more comfortable with a long pause at the top, spending time over the rubber, and then dealing, getting all his momentum going forward. Boy, it just, his rhythm and timing is so good from the windup. That sinker is really special.
It's kind of interesting, at least early in a lot of ball games, lots of zeros on the board. There are great pitchers pitching today. Looks like Mr. Wang has a contingent of fans rooting for him. Soriano got a pitch up. You got Tom Glavine, Roy Halladay, Josh Johnson, John Garland, Aaron Harang, Johan Santana, John Smoltz, Kurt Schilling tonight, Chris Carpenter, Kenny Rogers, all pitching today. Maybe some low-scoring games around baseball. And by the way, Mark Pryor against Kenny Rogers is starting for the Cubs. Soriano just got a piece of it. Looked like a bit of an off-speed pitch that had his bat slowed down. Now the Marlins have just scored to tie the Braves, or rather tie the Blue Jays 1-1 early. Marlins are a half game behind the Nats, tied with the Braves. Soriano tried to pull an outside pitch, and that's what usually happens. Ground ball to short. He's gone, and so are the Nats. That's 7 in a row for Chien-Ming Wang. Scoreless game through 3. All right, Dad digs the Nationals. I like it.
Cool.
What a great
awesome
sign. Very accurate with the curly W, by the way. It's the 4th inning, and it's time in a scoreless game for baseball trivia from our good friends at the Yankees captain after Lou Gehrig.
in chronological order.
Well, if he came after Lou, I guess it would be chronological.
The Scooter.
Chronological.
Rizzuto, Jeter. Jeter, Rizzuto, okay. Who else was a Yankee captain?
Billy Martin was a captain, wasn't he?
I don't think so.
No. But who was after Lou Gehrig?
Maybe they didn't have one.
You know, they might have had a
Might be a trick.
long time between captains, is what I'm thinking.
Scooter. Rizzuto became one.
Yeah, he might be the next.
Maybe Bill Dickey.
One of their great catchers, huh?
Yeah. I don't think Yogi was captain.
Derek Jeter.
Nobody would understand what he was saying to
Yogi.
He's responsible for the Affleck trivia questions. Let's see. I'm going with Dickey, Jeter, Rizzuto.
Chronological order, though, you would have to go Rizzuto, Jeter.
Oh, chronological. Duh, I'm going alphabetical. Excuse me. Chronological would be Dickey, Rizzuto, Jeter.
Man, one word and we're all out of whack. All right, one out in the fourth. Jason Giambi will be next. Here comes the shift. Fortunately, Jeter not on base this time to steal second. Take a Sunday stroll to third. Ryan Zimmerman, they keep moving him, and right now he's almost right behind the pitcher's mound and second base.
Look at this.
There he is, pulls the ball on the ground. Darryl Ward to Mike O'Connor.
Perfect. Had a couple of defensive backs, and the linebackers were all over there covering, so Giambi had no chance.
So the Tom and I don't have to worry about chronological anymore. Here comes an immediate answer to our trivia.
We may have gotten this.
Tom said Dickey, Rizzuto, and Jeter.
Oh my God, the Yankee captain.
Thurman Munson. See, it was a long time between captains, wasn't it?
Oh, I thought, who served? I thought that was a general questions of. So they didn't have a captain for all those years? 40 years or so?
Man. Well, for a lot of that time, DiMaggio and Mantle were the inspirational leaders.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, Mickey was the social director.
Yeah. It got in the way. Couldn't be captain, too.
Would have cut into his other duties.
He was having too much fun.
Mickey Mantle, maybe one of the most, top 2 or 3 gifted players to ever play the game, and the knee injuries just killed him. But still able to perform at an unbelievable level for a lot of years. 0-2, target inside. Fastball got in there, and Alex Rodriguez fouled it straight back. Mike O'Connor is cruising right now. He's retired 8 consecutive Yankees since walking this batter, A-Rod, getting a visit from his pitching coach to lead off the second inning. Since then, Mike's been great. And A-Rod just expands his strike zone and hits that ball about 250 feet out into right center field.
Well, that was a changeup that hung up and out over the plate, and A-Rod just kind of flipped it over the infield. But the Yankees are a team that they can explode on you. 2 outs really doesn't mean that much. He's got that leg kick going. He's just so good. Not a good swing, but he's able to just kind of flip it, keep his hands back long enough.
I just wonder if A-Rod, if the word has filtered back to him that Tom Paciorek knows a way that he could be even better.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, yeah, I just don't like the leg kick, and I'm not a fan of that. And that would be the only suggestion. If A-Rod would sit back like Pujols and just turn his front shoulder. He's so strong, he doesn't need the stride. But, that's only one theory.
Yeah. You got a guy like that who's been 30 years old. He's been hitting that way for 20 years.
Well,
hard to tell him to change.
Well, actually, I don't remember him having a leg kick before he got to Texas.
He shouldn't have needed it there to hit the ball out of the park.
No.
Now it's 2-0 to Posada. This is a lineup that just never gives you a chance to be comfortable.
And Posada, as we pointed out his last time up, really likes the ball up, right-handed.
Posada struck out looking first time up when Mike O'Connor got a 2-strike count on him and buzzed him under his hands with a fastball.
See how much Joe Torre trusts Posada here and see if he allows him to swing on 3-0.
No swing needed. 4-pitch walk. So he had Alex Rodriguez 0-2, hung a changeup, and now he's walked Posada on 4, turning this into a stressful inning.
Yep, and Robert Fick out to discuss things with him. Robert works well with the pitchers. He calls a good game. So, there's no drop off there. Naturally, he doesn't throw as well as Brian Schneider. But he'll call a good game. He knows the hitters in this league, and hopefully he can find a way to get Cano out here, who's a very dangerous hitter.
Coming into this game, the American League leads in Interleague this year, 41-29. And that's interesting because 11 of the matchups this weekend are in the National League parks.
Yeah. That's significant.
Big curveball for a strike to Robinson Cano. The crowd is battling again. The Yankees got their chant started. The Nats fans booed him down. Now everybody takes a breath in between pitches, and we get deathly quiet for a moment. Tom and I mentioned Friday night, it's almost like being at a college football game with some divided loyalties. Great atmosphere all weekend. That's a breaking ball up and in, and the count's even 1-1. Now the Yankee fans are booing.
And Mike jumped out there to throw that pitch. He didn't stay back at all. Arm was dragging behind him.
Still 1-0. Orioles over the Mets in the third. Marlins and Blue Jays tied 1-1 in the third, and Tampa Bay has a run at Philadelphia. The Phillies have lost 6 in a row. And if you go back to last weekend, the Phillies have lost 9 out of 10.
Yeah, they're scuffling. Now 1-2 now. You know, you got to get this, guys, because you're going to get Bernie Williams from the right side of the plate. If you don't, how strong are you when Bernie Williams is hitting the 8th?
Very, very strong. 2 on, 2 out. Pitcher steps off, hitter steps out, umpire claps. Let's go, boys. The count's 1-2. Pitch up, pop up.
Same pitch.
Robert Fick finding it. Got rid of the mask. Basket catch. It wasn't pretty, but everybody can head for the dugout anyway. 2 stranded by the Yankees, and now they've left 4. Scoreless game. We're going bottom 4. Great matchup. It's sizzling outside for the fans in the sun, and we're going to tell you about Nationals.com. Make it your online source for info on the hometown team, updated news, promotional days, special offers, a chat room. It's all at Nationals.com, where baseball is always on. You can check on ticket information. And by the way, you'll find the news there that we will be televising our game next Saturday from Baltimore on WDCA 20 and Masson. 4:30 next Saturday, Nats O's.
We'll be there.
John Patterson did pitch at Potomac last night. Not great results. He gave up 8 runs in 5 innings. But according to Nationals observers, he did throw the ball well. We may see him Friday night in Baltimore. That has not been determined just yet.
Well, as long as he's healthy. You know, he told us last week, remember, that the mound at Potomac was terrible.
They are addressing that. They are addressing that.
That doesn't help. When
in fact, the Nats are sending some of their grounds crew down to Potomac after this home stand to check on the mound, which John Patterson said didn't have any clay, all dirt, so you land and you're sliding all over the place.
You can get hurt.
You don't need $1 million pitchers doing that. And really, you don't want your minor league guys doing that either.
Good grief, you've given those guys a lot of money up front.
Bottom of the 4th, Jose Vidro bounced into a 4.63 his first time up. He has a hitter's count, 2-0. Slaps it right side over to his left, Robinson Cano. That play didn't require a lot of range, but we've been impressed with his range in this series.
He can play. He can really play. Robinson Cano, one of the best young player to come through the Yankee system, I think, since Bernie Williams.
He's only 23 years of age.
He can hit. He can play.
His dad, Jose, had a 6-game cup of coffee with the 1989 Houston Astros. So Junior's going to play in the big leagues a lot longer than that. Jose Guillen got fisted first time, got himself a base hit. Wasn't that a great swing he put on that triple yesterday?
Perfect. Well, he got a pitch down out over the plate, and he just went with it. Mariano's cutter, I don't know if it was cutting so much. He had to pitch, what, an inning and 2/3 on Friday to get the win.
Tom, because this pitcher is big and he spends so much time over the rubber as he goes back into his windup, is he hard to pick up? I mean, what challenges you against a guy like
well,
this?
he has a very deceptive delivery. You know, you have to wait and be patient, because he's patient throughout his delivery. but his motion is not overly deceptive, but he does throw his glove at you. But he's a big guy. Most big guys do have a certain amount of deception. Little extra hang time you have to have. Like right there, he's getting himself all together. That's why he's so good from the windup. Kenny Singleton told me before the game, you got to get this guy working from the stretch. I mean, he's just so nice, pausing, making sure everything is in line, and then Wang. I mean, Wang. right to the plate. I mean, out of a stretch, he can't do that. He's got to be quicker. That's why you got to get some guys on.
Jose lays off. Wang formerly pitched for the Chinese Olympic team. He's from Taiwan.
Well, he's a heck of a find to go 7-2 for the Yanks.
Never played professionally in the Far East. It's all been as a professional in this country. Starting at 2000 with Staten Island. 3-2 to Jose with 1 out.
Ow.
There goes the bat and the ball out to short. And Derek Jeter will throw him out. We have a Coors Light cold blast for you. And Tom, this was not a cold blast. It was a hot one.
Man, he got an inside fastball and crushes it. Darrell Ward might be the best fastball hitter on this team. He and Soriano can really get after that number 1, and he crushes it upstairs.
5 home runs in 50 at bats now this year.
Well, look for that fastball right here. Try and put another point on the board here, or the first one.
Right off the end of the bat. That's what Wang did to him the first time up. Darrell pulled that one. This one right back to the pitcher. That sinker's going. Those were 3 ground ball outs. Nothing like a dad celebrating his first Father's Day. Mom's got the little Nikes ready if they're necessary. Isn't that great? And then, of course, he's probably had 6 or 7 Father's Days. Some of us have had many, many, many more than that. What a great day to be at the ballpark for all the dads and their young ones. And we go to the top of the 5th inning. Bernie Williams got the big blow Friday night, tie game, and he took care of the rest.
Bernie loves the ball out over the plate, especially left-handed. And he crushed that one out of here. That was a changeup, it looked like, from Chad Cordero. Big hit of that game on Friday.
He's got great hands. But he should. He plays classical guitar as his off-the-field endeavor. And he's got a base hit up the middle to lead off the 5th inning. That's the 2nd time today the Yankees have put their leadoff man on.
Yeah, first pitch fastball's up and out over the plate. Bernie knows what to do with that one. Nice effort there by Harris, but really no chance to get that one. So
well, let's see if Wang can bunt here. And Tom, you talked about this last time up. We don't even know if he can.
Yeah.
This is a situation where Ward and Zimmerman can really seriously charge.
Just stand right next to him. It's going to be almost impossible. Even with Bernie, look at this. Get foul. Oh, you got to throw him high, hard ones here.
Darrell really wasn't charging that much there.
Well, he's got to try and hold Bernie on because he still has good enough speed to steal a base.
Robert Fick is ready to pop up out of his stance as well. That ball is fouled straight back, and now it's 0-2.
That's a tough thing to do, to ask a pitcher, American League pitcher, to come into a ball game and hit, and then of course sacrifice. Bunting is not the easiest thing in the world to do either, but Joe Torre knows the limitations that you have in this type of competition. Looking at Bernie Williams, he hasn't even attempted a stolen base this year, so they want to keep his legs fresh.
And he tried to bunt a breaking ball. Wang is gone. And for Mike O'Connor, his 5th strikeout of the day. Here's our Corona Extra, miles from ordinary factoid, as we check in on Joe Torre. His amazing 1971 season, as you mentioned, playing third base in St. Louis when he was the most valuable player. 230 hits.
Unbelievable. That's a ton. That is, for a guy who never got a leg hit. 137 RBIs, 352 total bases. Led the league. Something.
And a lot of people forget that he was a Gold Glove catcher before that.
Yeah, yeah.
The only time I ever saw Joe Torre struggle behind the plate was when Phil Niekro was on the mound.
Oh, really? How about Hoyt Wilhelm? That would drive you nuts. You know, believe it or not, I thought Hoyt Wilhelm's knuckler moved more than any other that I'd ever seen.
Johnny Damon chops one foul to the right side. Counts even 1-1. Johnny 0 for 2 today, 5 out of 12 in the series.
Yeah, Hoyt would have his head cocked to the side. You think, where's he looking at? You know, and then he'd throw that thing. He would start behind your head, do the dipsy-do, the boogaloo, and boom, right there. So, you know, I don't know how anybody ever got a hit off him. Trying to catch a butterfly. Ow.
There's a busted bat.
Hurry.
O'Connor to first. Proper play. 2 outs, and Johnny Damon is 0 for 3.
He's pitched Johnny pretty effectively, but that time it was a check swing jammer.
Yeah.
Ow, man. That could be painful.
That's the second best jam job we've seen today.
Yep. I'll tell you what.
Charlie Huff once told me, your old teammate,
Yes.
that the knuckleball was the most fickle friend he ever had.
And he was right, too. Just mention the name Mark Salas, and Charlie will have a nightmare. The Chief wore Charlie out. Couldn't get him out.
And he was a catcher. Other catchers couldn't catch it or hit.
Yeah, that's very true. And we were playing a game in Minnesota one time, and Salas wasn't in the lineup, and Charlie going, what the heck's going on here? Well, he didn't know they had traded him in the middle of the game.
Line drive, right field. Guillen is right there, and the Nationals get a break. In contrast to yesterday, this one is all pitchers, scoreless halfway through.